Let's talk about slap bass. Make sure you stick around to the end of this video because I am going to be giving you some great technique pointers and exercises to work on to improve your slap bass technique. Let's talk about some slap bass players. So, I don't know if he officially invented it, but he was the first one that definitely brought it mainstream, was Larry Graham. The story goes, as told by Larry himself, he had a church band, and it was him and his mom and some other people. They had drums, and his mom played organ, and he played guitar. I guess the foot pedals on the organ broke, so he had to switch to bass. And then one day their drummer quit, so he had to compensate, and he came up with slap bass. So that's the story of where slap bass came from, and then since then it's evolved and transformed. A couple of the most notable players over the years have been guys like Louis Johnson, of course Victor Wooten, and my personal favorite, Marcus Miller. And what's interesting about this technique is that it's almost as if there are as many different ways to slap the bass as there are people who slap it. The two main ways are thumbs down That's how Flea played.
So that's slapping.
The other way is thumbs up. And when you watch Marcus Miller play, he keeps his fist nice and tight, like this. And I found that really helps with your economy of motion, because I used to tend to let my fingers kind of just fly around, which is fine, but keeping them tucked up there, I think that's the way to do it. So that's the way that I recommend. Now, let's talk about the mechanics. Step 1, thumbs up. You want to keep, like I said, keep that fist closed, thumb up position, kind of like this. And I'm not, when I first was slapping for years, I just kind of would hit the string. And the problem with that is it gets kind of sloppy and floppy. Sloppy and floppy. There's a term for you. In terms of, it just doesn't sound the best. The tighter way, the way you get the better tone, the better punch, is to kind of think about following through. I'm coming down, and my thumb is almost going through. I just find you get a much better tone going through the strings like that rather than bouncing off them, especially if you're slapping on the higher strings, the G and the D string in this case. Now, what's interesting, Mark King, he definitely was just straight up like middle of his thumb, bouncing off that low E, and that was just his sound, man. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. I just like the finesse that almost going through the string allows you to get. And something that I've never really worked on until recently is the Victor Wooten thing, right? He calls it his double thump. So you hit it once going through. Marcus Miller used this a lot too. You go through the string and then you basically catch it with the top of your thumb coming up is the gist of it. So spend a few minutes just practice slapping. In fact, I would practice slapping all the open strings, and then in between each slap, mute it. Because that's a big part of that, getting that slap sound is controlling your strings and note lengths using the left hand. Slap, mute, slap, mute, slap, mute, slap, mute, slap, mute, slap, mute, slap, mute. You can't talk about slapping without popping, because it's all about the slap, pop. Slap, pop. Think about this hook. You have the slap thumb and the pop finger hook. So if we think about, we'll come up to an A here on the E string, 5th fret. And you want to get this rotation. That's the most important slap bass step. The rotation. And so we go. So for right now, we'll just hold them out. So that way you're not thinking about this left hand at all. It's just chilling. Think about on the slap, you're rotating counterclockwise, and then on the pop is the clockwise rotation back out. So next step, start on G. 3rd fret, E string, slap, and then we'll pop on the D string. D string, 5th fret for the high G, octaves. Putting off that note to stop it after every hit. The other weird thing about Mark King is he uses like that black thing on his thumb. If any like bass guru out there happens to be watching this and you know exactly what that black thing is on Mark King's thumb, let me know, because I'm always curious. Is it just like a bandage? Did he get like a blister? I've always wondered what that was. I'm sure there's an interview or something out there. I've never dug too hard. Maybe I should just look it up. So we got slapping and popping. Those are the first two essential techniques. The next is hammer-ons and pull-offs. Now, a really common thing that I run into with a lot of students is when they start doing hammer-ons or in any kind of slur, they tend to just want to do it like as fast as they can. The trick is to actually think about whatever note value you need to, whatever subdivision. So in this case, we'll think about 8th notes. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So what I'm doing is I'm slapping the A string, hammer on the 2nd fret, pop that high B on the G, so 4th fret on the G string. So it's 1 and 2, 3 and 4. So if you need to, practice just doing those hammer-ons. Slap, hammer on pop. Slap, hammer on pop. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Now, if you're still struggling with this rotation and getting this fluid, go back and focus on that, because you're not going to be able to do this until you get that down. Then work on your hammer-ons. And honestly, until you can do this consistently, just doing a hammer-on, wait to add that pop in. Crucial technique is left hand muting your slaps and pops. So 1, 2, and 3. So we got slap, hammer on, pop, muted slap, muted pop. And all I'm doing is laying my fingers across and rotating. Slap and popping, baby. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Now let's change up a little bit. 1 and So that's a hammer-on, muted pop, muted slap, and then we'll get that high B on beat 3. 1 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Let's recap. 3, 5. Let's break it into. Let's think about it in 5. Let's think about it in. Let's recap. Let's think about it in 5 sections. Thumbs up. Slap through with the rotation. Thumbs up is 1. Slapping through is 2. Popping on the rotation back out is 3. 4 is adding in our hammer-on the A string. Number 5, muting. Well, that does it for my inaugural MaxHBass video. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. I am hoping to put together some lesson material and flesh out some of the things in this video and others I have planned, and putting them on my website or Patreon or something. So if you want more of this content, like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.